Good morning, guys. So today we are going to be moving to lesson 2 or unit 2, lesson 1. In today's lesson, you're going to explore the module anchor text, My Librarian is a Camel. So welcome to unit 2, guys. We made it through unit 1 and y'all did great through that. So welcome to unit 2. This unit is going to be reading and writing to inform. So that means in this unit, we're gonna keep working, we're gonna keep working on reading and writing to inform by closely reading informational texts. So for unit 2, we're going to be focusing on informational texts. And remember that an informational text is a nonfiction text. So it's going to be about real information, real things, and it's going to inform you. It's going to be giving you information. Our learning targets. I can find the gist of an informational text, and I can find the meaning of unfamiliar vocabulary. So we're going to be focusing on the pages on Kenya today, and I will be reading these for you. The roads to Bulla Ifton, 200 miles northeast of Nairobi, are impassable because of the desert sand, even for cars with four-wheel drive. But young people who live in nomadic villages in the area are hungry for books. So librarians use the most economical means of transportation, camels. Library camels are on the road 5 days a week. They can carry heavy loads and need little water in the heat of the desert. One camel may carry as many as 500 books, weighing about 400 pounds. A driver and a librarian divide the books into 2 boxes. They saddle them on the camel's back, which is covered with a grass mat for protection. A second camel carries a tent that serves as the library roof. The students of Bulla Ifton eagerly await the arrival of the camels. When the library caravan finally reaches the village, the children watch as the librarian pitches the tent and displays the books on wooden shelves. The librarian places the grass mats on the ground in the shade of an acacia tree, making a place where the children can sit. The students can treasure their new books for 2 weeks. When the library camels return, the children can trade their books for new ones. So let's talk about informational texts. So the purpose of an informational text is to inform or teach the reader about a topic. Informational texts usually have text features that the author can use to help the reader understand and find information easier in the text. Informational texts are based on research the author does before writing and list sources used in research. Informational texts are focused on the same topic throughout the piece. Informational texts are clearly presented and they are easy to understand. Informational texts will often have illustrations or pictures that support whatever the information in the text is or whatever the topic of the text is. Informational texts introduce the topic with a focus statement. Develop the topic with evidence such as facts and details, and end with a concluding statement or section. And this is going to be very important for you guys as you will write an informational piece during this module. And finally, informational texts group related information together to explain a main idea. So like I said, we're going to be focusing on the pages for Kenya today, and we're going to try to find the gist of these two pages. So you'll be using this note catcher today, Finding the Gist and Unfamiliar Vocabulary, Kenya note catcher. So pause the video, turn to this page, and have your pencils ready. All right, so the first thing we're going to look at is we're going to look at this section right here. It's telling us exactly what section in the text to look at. So it says beginning at the roads to Bula Iftin. So we've got the roads to Bula Iftin, and then it ends at means of transportation, camels. So that means we're going to be focusing on the first paragraph only for this row. So let's think about the gist here. So again, for this section, we're going to use paragraph 1. And if it helps you, put a 1 right next to the paragraph and a 1 next to the section. So the gist of this section is that some roads in the Kenyan desert are hard for cars to drive on, so librarians use camels to bring books to people living there. So if we reread this, we're going to reread this to make sure that that is in fact what it's mostly about. The roads to Bula Iftin, 200 miles northeast of Nairobi, are impassable because of the desert sand, even for cars with four-wheel drive. But young people who live in nomadic villages in the area are hungry for books. So librarians use the most economical means of transportation, camels. It is mostly about how the roads in the Kenyan desert are hard to drive on, even for cars. So in order to get books to the kids in the village, they have to use camels. Now let's think about the unfamiliar vocabulary. There are some words that I don't know what they mean. I don't know what nomadic means, and I don't know what transportation means. I don't know what nomadic means, and I don't know what transportation means. So I need to figure out the meaning of those unknown words. And we've talked about this in Unit 1. We look around the word to see if we can figure it out. We use clues in the text itself. So these are our context clues. You can also use a dictionary if you need to. So nomadic means moving from place to place without a fixed home. And transportation is moving or carrying from one place to another. Because if you hear someone say, I'm going to transport the groceries from the store to the house, they're moving it from the grocery store to the house. So they're going from one place to another. Now, right here in section 2, you're going to be using paragraph 2 for this section. You're going to be using paragraph 2 for this section. Paragraph 3 will be used for the very last section on this note catcher. When you're going back to do those 2 pages, or do those 2 sections, right here, there's a little map, a little snippet on the side. Let's pop this out and see what's in here. This is a text feature. This is a text feature. It is just a little section on its own. It's got illustrations. So it's got a map. It's got the picture of their flag. And then it's got some information in here. Always, always, always make sure to read captions and these little text boxes, because there could be some very important information in there that you'll need that can help you determine the gist, or could have details that go along with that gist. So where exactly is Kenya? So we're starting in Charlotte. We're looking at Kenya today. So Kenya is right here in Africa. So we've already traveled to Africa in Unit 1 when we visited Chad for rain school. So today we're going to be visiting Africa again, but we're going to be visiting a different part of Africa and learning about libraries in Kenya. So take a second to think about how you're feeling about these new learning targets today. Okay? And if you are on the fence or you are just not sure, make sure that you join office hours at 3:15 today, so that way I can help answer any questions you may have. Your homework is to finish finding the gist of the last 2 paragraphs for Kenya. If there's any words you don't know, make sure to record those in the unfamiliar vocabulary section, and feel free to use a dictionary if you need to. But remember, gist, what is it mostly about? Think about what this paragraph is mostly about, what this paragraph is mostly about as you're filling this in. But with that, y'all did great, and I will see you guys tomorrow.